भुटानमा आइसक्यो तिमीहरू लाँदै गर्छ
Hi, Karen.
Hi, right, you know.
Yeah. How are you?
Good, thank you. Thank you, yeah.
Thank you so much for being here. We'll start in just a minute. Give us. Yeah.
Your Summit?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm Sumit.
Summit. Okay,
Yeah.
thank you. Good to see both photos in my in the slide.
Yeah.
I think John Philip is also able to join us.
Okay. Has he joined?
I heard from him earlier today. He was going to. I can't see him yet.
Okay.
Would you be able to let me share my screen?
Yeah, sure.
Thanks.
Would you mind if you tell me how to pronounce your last name?
Eve Lee.
Eve Lee. Okay.
Yes, Eve Lee. Yes.
So let me start the recording. Okay. So hello, everyone. We have Karen Evely here. She's the district governor of RI District 1090. And the special reason why we have invited her is RI District 1090 is very famous for hosting lots of Rotary scholarship programs. So that's the reason that we think she would be the perfect person to introduce us regarding Rotary Global Grant Scholarships. Many of people from our country have taken advantage of this scholarship. Like one of the scholar, Bandana, is also here in meeting with us, which is being sponsored by RIGC 1090. So introducing Karen, she is the district governor for Rotary District 1090 in Thames Valley in Southern England. She joined Rotary in 2009 and focused on club activities for first 2 years. Then she joined District Foundation team and supported group study exchange program and vocational training programs, both international programs within Rotary. She was the foundation chair for 5 years before becoming district governor. They've hosted 25 to 30 Rotary scholarships each year in her district, which is like a great number. Considering the number of scholarships events that is happening. So it's district one of the most extensive Rotary Foundation program, and she has been a host for Rotary Scholars since 2013, including 3 of the scholar funded by District 1090. She is a chemical engineer by training. She worked as an engineer for 7 years before moving into university administration, and she has worked as administrator at Oxford University since 2001 in many departments, but always focused on research and administration. She was worked in the law facility 2000, since 2010, and these are the areas where her university work and Rotary overlap. So the majority of Rotary scholars who come to District 1090 study at Oxford University. She works with colleagues to get Rotary Foundation recognized as medal donor to the university, and her role in the university is to support academic colleagues in writing their research grant application to wide range of research funders. So these has been support Rotary clubs and student when applying Rotary grants. So Karen, over to you.
Thank you very much. And it's lovely to see so many people here. And thank you for inviting me to speak to you today. Now, I thought I saw John Philip somewhere on the screen. If John is still with us, John is our foundation chair for our Rotary district. Yes, there you are, John. John's waving now. So hopefully we'll have time for some discussion and questions, and John and I can both take those. I think I will aim to speak for around 20 minutes, but then I'm hoping there are lots of questions and lots of discussions after that, if that sounds okay. Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds great. Yeah.
Okay, brilliant. All right, so I have a few slides. A few of them are pretty, others are quite plain, but some of the facts and figures are on some of those slides, so it might be worth showing those as well. And obviously, you can all decide whether you just see the slides or you see me and others talking as well. So if I share my screen, that one, slideshow from beginning. Okay, is that okay? Can you see that?
Yeah, all good.
Okay, great. Okay, so I did copy I took your logo from your bottom of your email submit. I think that's brilliant the way you've done that, doing things awesome. Very impressed with that. I hope every single Rotary in your district uses that in your email signature.
Thank you so much.
Okay, so this is just a few of our Rotary scholars this Rotary year, this academic year, taken in October when we had a briefing for those who were able to attend. Clearly with COVID, some people were late coming to Oxford and to our district, but that's a good bunch of them. Now, sorry, let me put my notes there. So as well as thanking you for inviting me to come and speak, I want to say thank you for Bandana. It was fantastic getting to know you while you were in the UK, in the London area last year. Bandana was an amazing ambassador for Rotary, for Rotaract in Nepal, for Brunel University. We had a weekend trip, a few of us, to South Wales, and that was lots of fun, and that's where we got to chat a lot. So the Rotary Global Grant Scholarship Programme worldwide has, I think, 250 to maybe 300 scholarships each year. It's a pretty big global scholarship programme. It started in 1947, so immediately after the Second World War, soon after the Second World War, and the aim was to increase understanding of others' cultures and countries. The format of it has changed a few times. It has in the past been for undergraduate study, and it has in the past been called an ambassadorial scholarship scheme. Since 2013, the scheme has been called the Global Grant Scholarships, and all scholarships have to fit under our areas of focus, which are Rotary Foundation's area of focus. I think we maybe have around 100, maybe a few more Rotary scholars in the UK each year. So that's England, Scotland, Wales and Ireland. And we have, as you heard, sort of 25 to 30 scholars in our district. Now, just to show you where you are, I have absolutely no idea how familiar you are with the geography of the UK. So just to show you where we are, if you can see my cursor, we're in District 1090, which is in the south of England, Middleish, to the west of London. So this is the London Rotary District, 1130, and our district is 1090. And in our district, we have 5 universities. We have Brunel University, where Bandana studied. We have Bucks New University, which is partly in High Wycombe and partly in Uxbridge. We have Oxford University, which is the big old one. We have Oxford Brookes University, also a very large university in the same city. And we have Reading University, which is where Faith studied, who's one of our other Rotary scholars last year. So across the UK, we do get scholars coming to universities across the whole country, but we get most in London, in the London district, 1130. Then I think second is us, 1090. And then I think third might be 1080, which is where Cambridge University is. So these 3 districts get the largest group of students, which then means we've got enough students to run a programme to help them build a network, build a cohort of scholars. So I talked about the Rotary's areas of focus. I don't know how familiar you as Rotaractors are with areas of focus, but this is something that all Rotarians should be familiar with, and Rotaractors in some countries will be more or less involved in these activities. They're the areas of focus of the Rotary Foundation, and we've had 6 of these areas of focus since 2013. And the environment is the latest area of focus that is now officially part of what we do since the 1st of July this Rotary year, so 2021. So in the same way as all global grant funded projects have to fit under these areas of focus. Global grant funded scholarships also have to fit under these areas of focus. And Bandana's scholarship fitted under basic education and literacy, and Faith, who our district also funded last year at the same time, her scholarship fitted under water, sanitation and hygiene. We get, I think we have Rotary scholars under all areas, or the six previous areas. They've been under all areas coming to the UK. We get a lot of scholars under the peace building and conflict resolution, peace building and conflict prevention area, which is quite interesting, and probably fewer under maternal and child health. So the basics, so these are now the not so exciting slides, but it might be worth you seeing what I'm saying in case my accent's a bit strange or I'm speaking too quickly. So global grant scholarships are all for graduate study, not undergraduate study. They are always for overseas study, so or study outside your home country. They have to fit within one of the areas of focus. And you need 2 clubs in 2 different countries. So with Bandana's scholarship, we had the club in England, and we actually had a club in Wales. So what might be more normal is to have a club in your home country, so a club in Nepal and a club in the country where you're studying. But it doesn't really matter, 2 clubs in different countries. And that's part of the global grant process. And then both the club or the district advertising the scholarship and providing significant part of the funding, they'll be making, they'll have their selection process. And then also our head office, so Rotary Foundation in the Evanston office in Chicago, head office for Rotary, they will be making a decision and saying, yes, this fits and this looks like a good application. Global grant scholarships are not available to Rotarians or immediate family of Rotarians, and that's in the same way as global grant project beneficiaries cannot be Rotarians. But as a Rotaractor, you are eligible to apply for a scholarship. So the process, you have to have your place at university before we can submit the second stage of the application to head office. So this is not about trying to get funding first and then looking for your place at university. You have to do it this way around, university first, then the Rotary scholarship. You'd initially start by finding the club or the district that's going to provide the funding. And clubs and districts across the world will advertise these more or less, and so in very different ways. Some are very active in promoting them, some are less active. Then you need to find the partner, club and district, and then you submit the application form. And that's the one with the deadline. So if you're going to study in the Northern Hemisphere, and therefore an October, sort of September, October academic year start, the application has to be submitted by the 30th of June. And then head office confirms the award. Only when you've confirmed the award can you then start incurring costs. So it's then that you travel to your university. It's not meant to be a plus sign there, sorry. And then you can start your studies. In terms of funding, where might it come from? Which I guess is the bit that you're interested in. So normally, most of the scholars that we see in our district, lots have come from, quite a few come from Australia or from the US. So in those districts, the Rotary clubs in those districts might have enough money to fund a scholar, because when a district chooses to fund a scholar, they're choosing an individual over a project. So the type of money that we use, the district designated fund, which you don't need to remember, but the money we have access to for these scholarships is that's the same pot of money that we'd use for projects. So someone somewhere has to say, yes, it's worth investing in this individual alongside these other projects that we're funding. So normally it's the home district. So if someone's coming from the States to study in Oxford, it's the US district paying. Very occasionally, it's the receiving district or the host district. So that's what we do. So that's what we did for Bandana, and that's what we did for Faith. We just do that for one person normally each year, very occasionally two. All of the other 25 to 30 scholars are funded by their home district. And not that many districts do what we do. So we as a group, John, Philip and I, and others here, might like to encourage other districts to think about that. In our district, the clubs don't contribute to the scholarship. We fund one or two, as I said. The way we've done it the last few years, which we can talk about more at the end, is that we specify which university is eligible and which courses, so that we can then work with the university and promote the scholarship within the university, meaning that this university can then, as they offer places to people on their courses, they can say, and you are eligible to apply for this Rotary scholarship. So it's a great way for us to promote the scholarship and to promote Rotary within the university. And, oh, sorry, back one. And a point that we might like to discuss at the end that John might like to talk about as well is that we're starting to ask other districts to help us to support more students. So we have lots of US districts sending students to us. We look after them, and we're starting to say to those districts, well, would you put in a little bit more money? And then we can build up a fund so that we can fund more people from different countries to come to our district. Slightly different thing, alternative funding models. Clubs could choose to use a district grant to support students, to support individuals, and that could be someone at school, it could be someone doing an undergraduate course or a graduate course at university. The second point, and the club can decide its own criteria for that. The second point is sort of one I'd made on the previous slide, that other districts might be able to provide some funding for the Global Grant Scholarship. And maybe those, I don't know if we've got, are there any Rotarians on the call, or is it all Rotaractors? Not sure, anyway, we can come to that later. So maybe when Rotary clubs in other countries want to support projects that your clubs in Nepal or Bhutan are running, you might say, well, actually, yes, we'd love to run this project, but would you give us a bit extra that we can then set aside for a scholarship program? So there are different ways of thinking about how to fund scholarships, because I'm guessing that the majority, but it is a guess, that the majority of clubs in your district that run big projects for your local communities would rather put money into the projects, the community projects, rather than to individual scholarships. So it might be the way to find funding for people in your area who want to study overseas is to encourage Rotary clubs from outside your area to support. So we can talk about that a bit more. And then individual sponsorship programs. Yes, so different clubs will run different schemes. So my club, one of our club members is British, but spent quite a bit of time working in Nepal. And he has supported a children's home, I think somewhere near Kathmandu, for many, many years. And he's developed a scholarship program. So individuals here near me fund students to go to school and then to go to college. So there are different ways, and then that's also been developed to a small group in a region of Ghana as well. So yeah, lots of different models that we could talk about. What makes a good application? I think we should discuss that. That shouldn't just be me talking. And this is just because I've just shown you a few boring slides, a few nice slides. So this is when Bandana and I went with Dave and Faith and Dave's wife Tina to South Wales and had a lovely weekend in August. And this was our trip to Cardiff Castle. So I think that's it in terms of slides. So I'm really hoping that there's lots of questions and we can have some discussion, if that's okay.
Yeah, that would be great. So if anybody have any questions, they can raise hand and throw question at Karen. So just to start with, like if I am seeking some scholarship opportunity, what would be the best way to figure it out? Like, what are the current Rotary clubs that actually do these kind of scholarship grants?
Yes, okay. So I think you really need to think about where you want to study.
Mhm.
So if you're based in Nepal now and you want to study in Nepal, then it's not a global grant scholarship. That's the first thing. If you are if you are looking to study overseas and to do a graduate course, so you've done your undergraduate degree, if you're looking to do a graduate course overseas, then you could think about this Rotary Global Grant Scholarship. I think, so at a district level, normally it would be the district foundation chair who is most knowledgeable about the scholarship program, but not all districts support the scholarship. So not all district foundation chairs will know about it. If your district has no recent or current experience of scholarships, then maybe John and I could set up a few meetings with a few of you and start to talk to you about how you might develop something. Because I don't know if anyone on this call could comment on how much district designated fund you have and how much money might be available for any scholarships. I think I'm looking at my slide now on the figures. I think I skipped that one for some reason, but it's a bit detailed anyway with all the numbers on it. John, do you want to add to that?
Well, thanks, Karen. Delighted to be here. And I think one day I hope that Karen and I can welcome all of you to our district as Rotary scholars. It's a long journey, but I think we need to have your Rotary district in this discussion. I think because the funding actually comes through Rotary. But I think just to amplify a couple of things that Karen said, the Rotary Scholarship Program is the largest non-governmental scholarship programs in the world. But when we looked at some statistics, we found that for some reason, the vast majority of the scholars who come to our country have come from high-income countries. Now, that is not any, there's no partiality or there's no preference given to high-income countries. It is because Rotary in high-income countries and candidates from high-income countries are more aware of this, and they have exploited the opportunity to become Rotary scholars more robustly. But just because candidates are in low-income countries, they are never discriminated against gaining from this wonderful program. But when I talked about actually this to some of my contacts in one of the African countries, I was told that, you know, we in our district or in our club have got only limited money. How can we spend it on an individual? Should we not be spending it to build classrooms or digging wells or agricultural programs? That's a very logical argument. But when I think Bandana is sitting there, she could tell you that investing money in an individual, particularly people of your age and aspiration and energy, can be a huge investment in your own local economy and for a local community. But somehow or other, we need to communicate this to Rotary in low-income countries that, you know, just like you would build classrooms or use your money to improve water and sanitation, investing some funds in a candidate to improve the long-term welfare of a community is also the right thing to do. But as Karen said, if we can get your Rotary district on board, we can explore opportunities of getting collaboration from other districts too. And one good way is taking that suggestion on board, that explore who are the international clubs and district who support humanitarian activities in your district now. They obviously have a soft corner for people. You have created a good impression in their mind. And we can reach out to them. You can reach out to them. We will help you to reach out to them to say that when you come to our country, we will mentor you and look after you, and you will be a huge asset to your community, to Rotaract and Rotary in your own country. So there's a lot of the things we can enable. But I think the first thing is to get to know about this program, understand it, and then I think there's a lot of things that we can do to assist you.
Thank you so much. I saw some hands raised. We had some guests. Okay, yeah. ADRR D Rashid from Ghana. Yeah, joined from Ghana. What's your question?
Well, thank you very much. And I'm much grateful for the opportunity to join this meeting. And I must say, I really learned a lot, and I'm happy to be part of this. Yeah, I have a question, or I want to also inquire something regarding opportunities for young people, like the districts that are in the collaborations so far. Because, for instance, I've just getting to the ending part of your the submission, I realized that she said their club and some other clubs in Ghana are currently supporting students, some students in Ghana with scholarship. And I think this will also be I'll be very interested to know more about this, because serving in the National Office of Rotaract Ghana and other Rotaractors might also be interested in exploring opportunities in the scholarships. And also we getting to know some of these things will help us to motivate and increase the numbers of Rotaractors in our country as well. Thank you very much. If you could possibly explore me more on the information about the partnership, the collaboration between your district and that of the clubs in Ghana or the district 9102. Thank you very much.
Yes, thank you. So the project that some of the members of my club, not district, are involved in Ghana is supporting school girls through secondary school. So it's not degree courses or colleges. It's okay. Girls in secondary school. And it's a small area of Ghana, and I can't remember where in Ghana, I'm afraid. I've heard one talk about it, and I'm joining a group of people who are sponsoring a few girls. So you can, if you wanted, I could certainly put you in touch with the Rotarian. If you wanted to send me a message in the chat, give me your email address, and he might be able to, or I can send you a link, or he could share more. But that's not, I think, an opportunity for Rotaractors in your district to get a scholarship.
Okay, thank you so much, and I really appreciate your response to this. I'll also be hoping, and we're looking forward for collaboration between our district and that of the district in Nepal. I think it will be a lovely time to work together, as I'll be serving as the national president for Rotaract in Ghana next Rotary year, 2022-2023 for Ghana. So I'll be glad if I get to know these information. I'll be happy for us to work together. Thank you so much, and I appreciate it a lot. I'll send you my email right away.
Okay, yeah, great. So there's a question in the chat as well. Some of the criteria for applying for the scholarship. So the bits that very briefly, the bits I spoke about before, it's the global grant scholarship is for graduate studies in a different country under the areas of focus. They're the 3 bits to remember. In terms of how to write a strong application for a Rotary scholarship, we want and like to see people who have got a strong commitment to volunteering and to supporting their community. So when we are assessing people for the scholarship, we already know that they've been accepted into the university to study the course that they've told us about. So if the course fits Rotary's areas of focus, then we don't have to assess the academic excellence of that person. we hope that the university has done that. So we would look to see whether your volunteering or your community work fits with Rotary's aims and beliefs. We would look to see how your career plans, your career to date, and your career plans fit with Rotary. And yeah, we sort of want to see that people are good Rotarians, good Rotaractors, and want to give back to their communities. And clearly there are loads and loads of very many different ways you can do that. John, do you want to comment on that?
No, I think in a way we are developing leaders. I think we got to say you are the movers and shakers of your community, and I think there's so much that we need to do, and I think this opportunity simply enhances your own ability. So quite understandably, when Rotary is investing money in young people, they got to make sure that they have the capacity, they have the heart to do good in the world. After all, that's what we are. We are people who want to make a difference in the world. So we will look for people who have got a track record, potential of making a difference to other people's lives. It is not a selfish thing. It is not about promoting yourself. It is not about making money. It's about giving. It's about investing in other people's lives. But doing that enhances ourselves. It makes us and enriches us. So the process will be, I personally don't think it is insurmountable, but I think quite understandably you can imagine that when someone is investing, the one thing I find in this is that this is not just handing out a check to someone. Okay, money is only a very small part of Rotary Scholarship. That is why, in my judgment, Rotary Scholarship is unique. This is a lifelong connection with people who are wanting to serve others, and that I think will change the candidate, and it changes the Rotarians who mentor them and associate themselves with them. It is the beginning of a long journey. So money is important, but it's transformative. It changes people and it changes the candidate. So we are looking for people who have that potential in them to make a difference in the world.
So one of my question is, like, once the Rotary Scholarship is over, someone maybe completes their studies, what sort of commitment do you look in them in terms of service?
Okay, so we would hope that they think about joining Rotary or Rotaract or stay in Rotaract. There's no formal commitment. You're not signing a contract where we can try and take the money back if you don't go into that particular career that you planned. Some people's plans will change during their studies. Maybe Bandana, maybe you could talk a little bit about how your plans have changed. We want people to give back to their communities, and the way in which they do that might change compared to their original application, and that's okay because all of our plans change through our lives. Bandana, do you want to talk about what changed for you?
Yeah, sure. Hi, Karen. Hi, John. It's so lovely to see you. I think I have so much to talk about Rotary Scholarship. Firstly, starting with the plan, I think unlike other scholarships like Chevening Scholarship, Rotary Scholarship does not want you to be have like strong contract or strong commitments. They just openly understand that the plans might change. Like previously, I thought of maybe going back to Nepal, but because during the last year I couldn't explore much of UK due to COVID and everything, I asked Karen that if I could stay here, and they graciously granted that permission, and finally I have applied for 2 years of extension, and I'll be working in UK for 2 years. So that's the openness that you can get from Rotary scholarship. But other scholarships have some commitments, like you have to go back to your country, or you have to work in this field, or you have to do something, but I don't think there is any commitment as such. And apart from that, I think to the previous question that Sumit asked about how you start your scholarship, I think there's lots of confusion among students, and they are not able to find correct scholarships for them. Like it was for me, it was so confusing. There were so many scholarships, and you don't know which to choose. And especially with Rotary scholarships, it's more confusing because some provide scholarship from the club basis, while some provide from the district basics, and there's no like, I think 1090 has a proper website for it where you can go and apply and know about it, but others don't have it. So there's so much confusion for students who are applying, and I think that just having a website for it sorts so much for 1090. And because they have been doing this for a long time, they have been taking 1 or 2 scholars every year. So I think the process here is much more clear, and I feel like very lucky to be that I went to their website and searched for it. Otherwise, I would have been so much confused, because some clubs don't give scholarships and some do, and it's very difficult to find the clubs that give you scholarships. So yeah, you can ask me any other questions if you want, because I have experienced it all, and I have completed my scholarship journey as well. And lastly, I'm very thankful to the Rotary fraternity, and especially Karen and Joan, that they gave me this opportunity, and I could complete my master's very efficiently. Thank you.
Maybe I think Bandana can share about like how she landed up on 1090 website, probably through googling probably, and then what was the process like, how everything went, so that people who are seeking for the scholarship might have an idea about the overall process that you have to go through. And since you have been one of the exception regarding the grant provision, because as Karen mentioned that the sending district usually sponsors rather than the receiving district. So probably Karen can add up on like what was the criteria on making that exception. So yeah, Bandana can start, and maybe Karen can add up to that.
Yeah, sure. I think I was extremely lucky that I had already got an offer from Brunel University, and my area of study was in line to the area of focus of Rotary, that is on basic education and literacy. So the subject that I chose was Masters of Science in Anthropology of Childhood, Youth and Education, that goes with the areas of focus of Rotary. And before applying for the scholarship, I had applied to other scholarships as well, which I was rejected. And then my last hope was Rotary scholarship. Actually, how I landed to that website was through the university page itself, because Brunel was promoting the scholarship that Rotary was providing. So I was going through that, all the scholarship that is provided by Brunel, and I saw that there was Rotary scholarship as well, and I was like extremely happy seeing that. I went to their website and I saw that there were other scholars who studied in different areas, and there was my course in their website. So I think that was like extreme luck. I don't know what else, but yeah, then I contacted, I submitted my application. There was a very long application about why I'm studying this course, what would I do after I complete my course, and what's my motivation in pursuing this. I think there were like four questions, I think. And after I submitted my application, I think I got invited for an interview. And after finishing the interview—
Sorry to stop you in between. What were the 4 questions?
Sorry, I don't remember them now. Do you remember, Karen?
It would have been about what volunteering have you done in the past? How does your career or your studies to date fit with the areas of focus? And how do your plans fit with the areas of focus? It would have been around that.
Yeah. I think something like that. Yeah, I could share that later on if you want. And after that, I was invited for an interview. And after the interview, I think it was still not like fully approved, because we had to go to Rotary website, and Karen, I, and Dave, we all three of us submitted all of our answers, and there were lots of questions from Rotary website as well, while applying for global grant scholarship. And after the Rotary Foundation had accepted our application, then I was granted the scholarship officially. And yeah, that's how it started. I don't think I was an exception. I think I was an exception because I was the only one who got scholarship from Nepal up to date in this global grant, I think. But in 1090, maybe, I think there are other scholars who have got a scholarship from other districts. I think 1090 has been giving the scholarship to, and they have been hosting rather than asking for the host clubs for the part in the scholarship fund. They have been asking other international clubs, like in Wales or in Scotland, to partner their scholarship fund. They are not asking the original home country of the scholars, isn't it, Karen? Am I right?
Yeah. So if I tell you a little bit about how our scholarships that we fund has changed over the last 7 or 8 years. So we have always funded one scholar. And so that the whole model across the world was different until about 2012. And then from 2013, it was up to the district to say, yes, we have enough money to fund a scholar. So we spent the first few years doing the same as we had previously done, and choosing someone who lived in our district or worked in our district or had studied in our district who wanted to go outside the UK to study for their graduate course. So we did that for a few people, and that was fantastic. It was a great opportunity for those people. But it was difficult for us to advertise that scholarship because we were going to our universities, our 5 universities, and say, will you promote a scholarship for when this student has left you and wants to go somewhere else? And the universities aren't that interested in helping with that. So it was a slightly selfish reason for us to say, let's do it the other way around. Let's fund someone to come to one of our universities, because that means we get a much wider reach. We'll get more publicity, we'll get more people knowing about the scheme, more people wanting to apply for it, and our universities in our district will learn more about Rotary and hopefully want to help us promote. So that's what we did for a few years. And we've had 2 people come to Oxford University, one from Serbia, one from Mexico. We've had 1 person from South Africa come to Oxford Brookes University. And then we said, okay, we're getting lots of people coming to Oxford, and we get lots of Rotary scholars coming to Oxford anyway, because lots of the Australians and the Americans and Indians and people from elsewhere in Europe come to Oxford. Why don't we try to build up a relationship between Rotary and our other universities? So we specifically said, okay, Brunel University, what courses do you do where you get lots of international students and your courses fit our areas of focus? And Reading University, what do you do? So we started talking to the 2 universities and said to them, when you offer people a place on these courses that we like, please tell them about our scholarship. So that's how Bandana heard about it. So for us, this is a much better way of promoting the scholarship. We get lots of interest from the universities, lots of interest from students. And it means that our Rotary clubs near those universities can start to build up relationships with them as well. I think that, what else was I meant to talk about? Does that cover that bit?
Yeah, I think you've covered it nicely. We have some questions in the chat. Person have asked, what about the postgraduate medical courses? Are there any, and which country?
Yes, there are lots of medical courses. So the medical people who we see in our districts have come to Oxford, and we've had some do global health and global epidemiology courses. We've had some do maternal health, so obstetrics type courses. I can't think. Oh, we've had people in not public health, not population health, sort of general practice type. No, it's not that, is it? Maybe it's public health type projects. So one person from Australia who had a scholarship for 3 years, she's just finished her PhD. Her work was on pain relief, the use of opioids and the overuse of opioids in developed countries. So that was very interesting. So yeah, we get quite a few people under the two medical areas of focus, or health areas of focus.
Okay. So another question is from Pramisha. So she asks, does the application for the scholarship need to be a member of the respective Rotary district during the whole period of scholarship?
No, that's not a requirement. So what we found is really nice is that people such as Bandana and Faith coming to our district to study know Rotaract or have been in Rotaract, and that's brilliant for us because Rotaract in the UK is not nearly as strong as Rotaract in your country and many other countries around the world. So we find it a fantastic opportunity. If we've got Rotary scholars who know Rotaract or in Rotaract, then they can help our Rotaract clubs in our district and work alongside them and hopefully all benefit and learn from each other. And that's a really nice opportunity, but it's not a requirement.
So what are some of the districts that are sending the scholarship to your country that you are hosting?
Okay, so quite a few districts in the US have students coming to Oxford. We've had students from Japan who have come both to Oxford and Reading universities. We've had students from India. We have students from elsewhere in Europe, so France, Germany, Italy, New Zealand. That's quite a good mix. We always get more US students than other countries.
So probably like some from people from our country, if somebody is interested, since what I have seen is Rotary District 3292, which is our district, does not do much of the Rotary scholarship grant. Probably someone seeking for these kind of scholarship have to approach the sending district, like some of the districts that you have mentioned, right? So we have to approach them for those kind of opportunities.
I think that if you as individuals approach the district where you were hoping to study, so I think you would struggle to be successful with that route. It's only because our district has made the decision that we want to fund people from low to middle income countries coming to us, and we advertise it. So there are a few other districts in our country that do it, but not many. I think the best way for us to think about developing this is to talk to some of the Rotarians in your district, in the district team, and think about how your Rotarians can contact Rotarians in other districts that, exactly as John said, already support activities in your country, and then start to have a discussion. And maybe if there were 3 or 4 districts who would each put in $3,000 or $4,000, dollars, $3,000 or $4,000, then that might be the way to start to get enough for a scholarship. One of the, I missed 2, oh yeah, I think I went through 2 slides quickly. But anyway, on the money side, so a total scholarship is £30,000. Sometimes, dollars. Sometimes people get more, but it's $30,000 is a global grant scholarship, which is a lot of money. It's enough to cover fees and lots of your living costs at some universities. It's not enough to cover everything if you're in London or Oxford or Cambridge or some of the other more expensive places. And the funding would come it's not quite 50-50, but let's say half of it comes from your district or from other districts, and then it gets matched by a grant from head office. So it's not 100% match, it's 80% match now, but you don't need to worry about the details. But mostly the money comes from the district or districts, and then from head office is a match. Some clubs might be prepared to put in cash, but that then doesn't get matched by the head office. So the best way to leverage the funding available from head office is to have district funding, and therefore to talk about multiple districts supporting a scheme for people to come to our district, which is what we're trying to talk to other districts about, or someone from your district to go elsewhere. And on the number of people who come to the UK, while it's expensive to study in the UK, if you're an overseas student, it's significantly cheaper than studying the same types of courses in the US. So that's another reason I think why we get lots of scholars coming to us.
Okay, I saw a hand raised from Divas. Divas, do you have any question? You can unmute yourself and ask.
Yeah, thank you, Sumit. So I had a question that scholarship program are only for the courses related to area of focus, or is there provision for students of different technical subject? That I have been pursuing my bachelor degree in computer engineering. So if I want to apply for my postgraduate in related subject, is there any provision? Or
so you said engineering?
Yes.
Yeah.
Which engineering?
Computer engineering.
Computing.
Computer engineering.
Yeah, okay. So it would be, so yes, we do have people who are studying physical sciences who get scholarships, but it's what do you want to do with that, and what have you done with that already? So we have some people who work in cybersecurity. We have people who are studying at the Internet Institute at Oxford University, and they are thinking about they might be thinking about data protection, they might be thinking about peace, conflict, criminal activity in the cloud. It fits into our areas of focus. I'm less familiar with computing engineering. I work in the law faculty in Oxford, so if I can use that as an example. If someone is coming to Oxford to study human rights law, it's highly likely that would fit in Rotary's areas of focus. If someone is coming to Oxford to study tax law or commercial law, it's far less likely that they are demonstrating to us they've got a career and a life in something that fits within our areas of focus. So there's those things. And on the, what was the other one we've had? We get lots of people coming to Oxford to study for the MBA, Masters in Business Administration. And some people would say, how does that fit Rotary's areas of focus? But some people are coming to study on the MBA and they're interested in social enterprise, or they're interested in how businesses help to grow communities, or they're interested in the fact that you can't grow communities without the infrastructure, and the infrastructure is business and public sector. So it's how you explain how your course fits our areas of focus. Our areas of focus cover almost all humanitarian aspects. There's not a lot that doesn't fit in there. Even if you talk about, I don't know, animal welfare, and that can be community and economic development, because that might be how to look after animals in your community so that you're getting a better, more sustainable farming. So yeah, think about it in that way.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you.
We have some questions regarding business management, but I think you have covered that. There's another question regarding, can we apply for a graduate course and after completion extend to a PhD?
Yes. Yes. So officially, a global grant scholarship can be for between 1 year and 4 years. So it might be that you have a 1 year scholarship, but you're doing a 4-year course, or you could have a 4-year scholarship for a 4-year course. Some people have $30,000 US, and it's to be stretched out over 4 years because that person's got other funding from other sources as well. other people, some very, very lucky people, this lady was from the US, the one I'm thinking of, got $30,000 per year for 4 years. You won't see that many scholarships that big.
What about the postgraduate biological courses? Are there any biological science courses, and for which country?
So I can't answer that. It's the universities
Okay.
have the courses. So it's for you as individuals to find out which course you want to do in the university. That's a completely separate decision and searching and researching than looking for the funding. Once you know the course you want to do and who provides it and where it is, then you look for the Rotary, then you think about whether it fits the Rotary scholarship.
Okay, so I think most of the questions that we have are regarding courses, but I think the quick answer for all the course related question would be it needs to align with the 7 areas of focus that Rotary has provided, right? In anyhow. So and then the universities need to have that courses being listed as one of the Rotary scholarship program. That would be the easy.
That's not, that last bit is not quite true.
Okay, okay.
So in our district, we specifically contacted Brunel University and said we would like to offer a scholarship on one of these 4 courses. So we made that decision. And it was to help us, it was to narrow the field so that we didn't get thousands of applications, was one reason. Other universities will not advertise a scholarship linked to their courses, but it's for you to say, yes, I think this fits with the Rotary's areas of focus. And then we need to look at how, if there might be funding available, if we can find the right districts to do, to find a Rotary scholarship for that course. Yeah.
Okay. I saw a hand raised from Varun. Varun, can you unmute yourself and ask the question?
Thank you, Dai. First of all, warm greetings to everybody here. My question is, if we qualify for some other scholarship other than Rotary scholarship, then will we be qualified for Rotary scholarship or not?
Yes, there are no restrictions on holding other scholarships alongside a Rotary scholarship. That's okay.
Okay, that's all.
Yeah, even I got the scholarship discount from Brunel University, and that was okay. As long as the scholarship provided by the Rotary, you can justify the cost and expenses related to that. That's okay.
And scholarship amount, that is $30,000. Is it for all 4 years, or for every year that amount would
I think most districts will offer 30,000, some offer 40,000, and that's it for most districts who are in a position to offer this. So if you are doing a PhD and it's 3 years or 4 years, you would need other funding as well.
Okay. So we have, again, like we see a bunch of questions regarding courses like civil engineering, master in culinary arts, MBBS, environmental science. I think your previous answer covers that all, right?
I would be interested. What's culinary arts?
It's more like cooking, I think. Yes, hospitality, I guess.
Okay, hospitality is highly unlikely to fit.
Okay.
We did have someone at Reading University who was doing, we have people studying food security. So that's slightly different. So yeah, food security. That's a good one.
Is this scholarship for only masters or bachelors also?
Not for bachelors. Bachelor's degree, certainly in our country, is an undergraduate degree, and that's not what the Rotary Global Grant Scholarship is for.
Okay. So does anyone have any more questions? You can write in the chat, or you can unmute yourself and ask. I think we had a great conversation throughout this 1 hour. I really enjoyed that. Uh,
John, sorry, I just wonder if John wants to talk about how we're encouraging other districts to help us with our scholarship.
Well, as Karen said, we have seen some amazing candidates coming from low-income countries. Bandana is a classic example, and we would like to promote our scholarship program to candidates from low-income countries. And that one channel is get support from local districts and apply for a global grant in the conventional way. The other pathway is, as we were saying, find the course, apply for a Rotary scholarship. But I think if we can get some support from your own district, particularly the foundation leaders, we can actually present this package to some of the other districts from high-income countries with which we have connection, and we are going around begging. We are asking people whether they could support our initiative to bring into our district more candidates from low-income. So we are committed to that. But I think it's not easy. I don't want to give any false expectation, but on the other hand, it's something that we would like to see promote our scholarship program internationally, so that some of the high-income country people who have got funds may invest in this program. But I think, Karen, in the first place, it would be good to get some support from Nepal Rotary leaders.
For the initial conversation, would be the right person for us to connect you with is the foundation chair, or would it be the district governor himself to start the conversation regarding promoting the scholarships?
Yeah, foundation chair.
Okay, yeah, well, we would love to connect you with him, and maybe we can plan on some kind of promoting these low-income scholarships for people in our country. Yeah, so I'll make that meeting happen, and we can discuss on that. So I think there's one question. What is the timeline of the applications for scholarship?
Yes, I've just put something in the chat about that. So the only absolute deadline is 30th of June, which is the deadline by which you have to submit the full application to head office. So that's only after you've got support from a district and you've got the partner, the two partner districts set up. So the scheme, the way we're talking about it, is a district might advertise a scholarship and make a decision on who their preferred candidate is. So when Bandana was interviewed, we interviewed 6 people for Brunel and we interviewed 6 people for Reading University, and we chose one and we said, Bandana, you are the preferred candidate. We will now help you with the second stage of the application, which goes to our head office. So that head office deadline is 30th of June. If you're going to start studying in October, which is where our academic year starts in this country. It therefore means that deadlines for districts who advertise this might be May, April, March. Each district will do it slightly differently.
Great. So have any more questions you can ask? If not, we can. I think we had a wonderful 1 hour. I think we got lots of information and we had more clarity around the Rotary Scholarship grant. So I really like to thank Karen and John and Bandana for helping us through it. So yeah, any questions, please feel free to put on chat. Otherwise, we'll end this session. Any final words from you, Karen, John, Bandana?
Thank you. It's great to see so many people here and lots of interest. I think along John's lines, managing expectations, I think I would see huge success as maybe one scholarship managed through Nepal Rotary. maybe in a year or two, and maybe reaching one a year. And maybe in our district we can fund 2 a year. So we are talking small numbers, but it's definitely worth promoting and talking about.
Thank you so much. John, any final words from you?
Oh, well, thank you ever so much. I'm delighted to see you all and wish you good luck. And
thank you so much, John. Vandana, any final words from your side?
I think it's very wonderful that we got this opportunity to connect from Nepal and from UK, and I'll be very happy if somebody from this chat or from this webinar would apply for scholarships and get one. I think that will be a very good thing, and this webinar would be, I think, truly successful if that happens. I'm getting lots of queries about since I started this scholarship and everything. I've been getting lots of queries about how you get the scholarships. Everybody is so much interested because it's such a big opportunity, because it's very living in London is very expensive, as I said before, and paying for the university and paying for yourself, for the house, for accommodation and everything, it's very expensive. So getting this scholarship is like a very good thing, and I can assure that with this scholarship, everything will be covered, your tuition fees, your accommodation and everything. And that's why I think it's such a big opportunity, and everybody should really do a good research before applying and see if that matches, everything matches to your interest. And yeah, I think I was very lucky that I got in contact with Karen, and she was very helpful. She guided me throughout the process, and even till the last month when we were submitting the reports and everything, she was really helping and very supportive. I hope the opportunity that I got, that's there for you all too. If you would just do proper research and apply straightforward. Wishing you all good luck, and thank you, Sumidai, for arranging this for us. I think this is a great platform for us to share as well, the things that we have learned and things that we have with us. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Karen. Thank you so much, John, and thank you so much, Vandana. So for people who have joined late, the recordings will be available in our YouTube channel, so you can go to YouTube/Rotrack3292 to see the recordings of the presentation and everything that happened this in the last 1 hour. And regarding further opportunities, we'll try to connect with our Rotary leaders and connect with Karen so that we can create more scholarship opportunities for Rotractors in our district. Since it's not limited to just Rotractors, it will be for non-Rotractors as well. So with this Rotary Scholarship Grant, we want to create in a way, we want to provide youth of Nepal an opportunity to explore and to learn and to grow more, because overall mission of Rotrack district is to create more professional and community leaders. So hopefully we'll be able to achieve with that by introducing and creating advocacy on Rotary scholarships. Thank you so much, Karen. Thank you so much, John. Thank you so much, Vandana. And thank you so much, everyone who have been part of this last 1 hour. And yeah, if something comes up, we might do another webinar where we can maybe add up, maybe. So promising nothing, but we'll try to do something that would help us to create more awareness regarding Rotary scholarships. Thank you so much, everyone.